It's basically ArcGIS, and it's the centerpiece of how we describe our work. It's an integrated web GIS, actually, that is supported by services like ArcGIS Server and online services. These are abstracted in something we call the geoinformation model that's managed by the portal, and then accessible by a whole bunch of apps. Apps are the real gigantically growing part of this system. This entire stack of technologies available on the open web, but it's also available entirely for deployment on premises. At the heart of this system is something that I've described as the geoinformation model. What is the geoinformation model, you might ask? Many of you know, but the way I like to describe it is it's a way to abstract different types of geographic information and organize it. This takes just a second to understand. There's GIS data in vectors and tables, there's imagery information, there's enterprise tabular data, and there's increasingly real-time information that now can be abstracted into simple layers and then rendered as web maps and 3D web scenes. This simplification of distributed information can actually be the thing that makes GIS so simple. I mean, it's easy to work with web maps in apps. It's the gasoline that runs the engine of the whole app revolution that's occurring. This abstraction allows me to abstract data from all over the organization, from the planning department, from the engineering department, from the police department, and abstract it into simple web maps that I can either combine or use in various ways. But I can also access data from all over the web. Just imagine that. Pull it into simple web maps and then integrate it and use it in my apps. So now I'd like to move on and talk about some very specific research themes or development themes that comprise the basic ArcGIS product. I'll do it one at a time. There's about a dozen of these, and altogether they represent what you guys work with. But what I want to share with you is some of the innovative work that's coming or has just finished. Bernie talked about content in the online environment. This is a living atlas of information. That's our intention and aspiration, is to continue building out thematic information about every subject, base maps, imagery, demographics, landscape data, so we can go to this living atlas and access thousands of not simply casual maps, but maps of authoritative source on anything, and make them ready to use. So like Bernie was showing, I just grab one, overlay it, do analysis with it. It's like a large living library of geographic information. So far we're doing pretty good. In addition to these authoritative source data sets, there's actually millions of data maps that are being shared by our users. Like tens of thousands of these maps are being shared every day. This is really amazing. And billions of maps are being made every week, accessing, viewing, interacting with these. This isn't Facebook or anything, but it's actually starting to behave that same way. It's a sharing, connected system of engagement, not just engagement between the technology and you, but between you and you. One of the things that's making ArcGIS come alive is apps. This is a second main area in the container that delivers this technology to you. Apps are opening it up, making it available to everybody in your organization, including the public. We have three main areas that we're working on here. One is field apps, one of them is office apps, and one of them is citizen or public engagement. The field apps have been extended this year, and we'll see it in a few minutes. They are apps that extend the collector. The collector is great, but where do you go? There's a navigator app. And then what do you do when you get there? Okay, there's a workforce app. So these work hand in hand to support field workers. In the office, lots of improvements. And in the public, you've already heard about story maps, and also the open data app. But new crowdsourcing apps that allow you to empower getting the voice of the crowd and integrating it directly into GIS, this is important. If you want to build your own app, we have 3 mechanisms to do it. The web app templates, which are HTML5 configurably, easily configurable, and also a new web app builder that since its release in January has tens of thousands of apps that have been built. This fall, we're introducing a new app builder called the App Studio. And this is for native apps. So apps are trending, right? Every organization now wants their own app, right? Yes, exactly. And they want to have it on Android and iPhone and Windows or one of them. This is a native app builder that allows you to build the app and automatically deploy it to multiple platforms. This is very cool. I design it once and I can implement it anywhere. And also for developers, ArcGIS has an opened up hood exposing not just the apps and the templates that can be configured, but also runtimes. So we have a rich library of open APIs and runtimes and content and services that are integrated in all the different languages. This enables us to build our own apps for the enterprise and beyond. The third leg of this technology component of this technology system is the ArcGIS server. The ArcGIS server last year was enriched with something called Portal. This actually brought web mapping and the whole geoinformation model into the enterprise. So I could, inside of the enterprise, have my own WebGIS inside of the organization with the apps that I've been talking about and with total integration to the big cloud stuff in ArcGIS Online. We've been working here on a lot of improvements. Bernie showed the smart mapping. We've seen the web 3D stuff, more analytics. But this year we supported the Microsoft's Azure cloud. That's important, I think, for many of you. And we beefed up the support for Linux, so it's a strong platform in Linux environment. And also, I've already mentioned geocoding. What's coming next is this big extension for big data, the big data extension for geoanalytics and support for utilities, GeoJSON, support in the Google Cloud environment, and also support for distributed portals, kind of a portal of portal environments. The fourth component of this system is ArcGIS Online. This is the complete hosted GIS in the cloud, supporting mapping and apps, and again, you've become familiar with some aspects of it already. Here again, smart mapping and formal metadata have been added, and better administration, and again, high-performance geocoding. What's coming here is interesting. Improved search, so we can find each other's work more effectively. Advanced analytics, better support for OGC, and also recently Microsoft decided to provide Bing map support in that environment. On top of these 4 main pillars are what we call solution templates. In other words, there's desktop, apps, server, online. We have built configurable templates, and we've open sourced them. There are now several hundred of them that make GIS come alive at the application level in your organizations. And I invite all of you to use these. They're built on best practices. They're free. They're open sourced. And we also support them as part of our standard product. Complementing these templates are a family of solution products. These are commercial products for supporting high-end map production, like cartographic agencies around the world, or decision support environments like real estate and business location, business analysis, community analysis, or also the new world of geodesign. I want to design and quickly evaluate the consequences of my designs. And then some specialized area like in highways and in airports, and also advanced field data collection. What's the roadmap look like ahead for this whole product suite? Last year we released 10.3 and Pro. This summer we released another version. You can see the pattern. We're incrementally releasing the products. And we'll continue that this winter with 10.4, which brings a lot of things together. And then in the online environment, continuous development. Lots of new themes will be realized this winter, and we're looking forward to it. Although right now it's pretty good, wouldn't you say? I hope.